I ain't supposed to do that. I don't know what y'all doing with that. I don't know what y'all doing over there. That's for females. I don't know what these niggas doing. That's for females. I don't know what these niggas doing. That's for females.
Whether or not you've known it, Sam Hyde has always been the precursor for the cultural mood of the current day. His rebuke of the leftist veneer on society began years before the culture caught up to him, and he suffered brutally for it, because it rarely pays to be first. So he was artificially stuffed deep below the mainstream for years, and he fought his cancellation before that was even a term used. But in recent years, he's returned stronger than ever, and his impact and influence, though it's perhaps not blatant to most normies, is exceptional. Sam was born in Fall River, Massachusetts back in 1985, but he would grow up for most of his early life in Wilton, Connecticut, and after spending his first year of college at Carnegie Mellon, he transferred to the Rhode Island School of Design, where he ended up graduating with a degree in film, animation, and video in 2007. But Sam's entry into the adult world had a shaky start. He often discussed the fact that he was lost in his early years. He said he had a blind faith that he would immediately succeed in the world merely on his talent alone, but soon saw that his reality was not lining up with this expectation. So once college ended, while still working on comedy as much as he could, he took a day job as a car salesman along with his friend and collaborator, Nick Rochefort. But it was always clear where his head was.
Recording?
No. Yeah.
You sure? So anyway, this guy wants a RAV4 for a Corolla price. So I tell him to get on out of here. Oh wait, I think it's a customer. Hold on.
After a couple of years spent making sketches together, Nick and Sam recruited Nick's kindergarten classmate Charles Carroll to start a YouTube comedy channel in 2009, which they called $1 Million Extreme. The name was actually a repurposing of the title used for Sam's senior thesis, with the channel having a mixture of sketches as well as pranks.
Excuse me, what do you have here? A real, legitimate slave owner. Excuse me, miss. Can I talk to you about this for a minute? No, you don't know, because you got a nice new iPhone, okay? You got a white iPhone?
The trio continued to innovate in this newly budding world of internet comedy, and one of Sam's most notable stunts was tricking some sad idiot into letting him give a TED Talk at Drexel University in 2013.
His work spans every continent and has been featured on television and in print, Discovery, Nat Geo, Vice, and others. He recently returned from Mogadishu, the most dangerous city on earth, where he shadowed the heroic El Mahmoud women on their quest to clean up the streets and restore humanity to their war-torn country. I present to you Sam Hyde, 2070 Paradigm Shift. Sam.
Can I have this water here? Is this anybody's? I'm claiming that right there. All right. Got some notes here. Did I just drop the mic pack? Oh, good. Okay. Keep that on me. Otherwise, you guys can't hear me. Give me like 25 seconds here. Guys, what's the one problem right now that's not going to be around in 2070? The elderly and the disabled. Because we're just going to kill them. We're just going to kill them. So we looked at the data. 2070, Israel straight up ripped off the map. Bye! Bye bye! Bye!
Sam was also doing stand-up on the side too, where he would show up to obscure open mics often held in bar basements. But his stand-up was more akin to comedic terrorism than actually crafted jokes.
That's my favorite thing is
you find the humor in people being uncomfortable.
But if there's an audience, if I can find an audience, this is why when I'm going to do stand-up now, it's not as fun because the audience doesn't hate me. Yeah. If I can find a crowd full of people that hate me, and there's two people that are trying to hold it laughter, right. That's what I like, you know?
Yeah. Sort of get some stuff off my chest. So bear with me, okay? If it's a little bit racist, don't worry. It's all meant with love and compassion, and I'm sure you're going to appreciate it. So 60 seconds up. This is kind of a Jeff Foxworthy type thing. You might be a redneck if. This is, you might be Mike Brown if. Okay? So here we go. Number one, if you think it's a good idea to reach for a cop's gun for street cred, you might be Mike Brown. If you assault a convenience store owner and steal a box of cigars and people dismiss it as a cultural thing, you might be Mike Brown. Here we go.
After years of effort, Sam and his crew eventually secured a deal with Adult Swim for a televised version of their YouTube content called $1 Million Extreme Presents World Peace. It was extremely avant-garde, but it managed to perform well when it aired in 2016.
We had a show on Adult Swim, and it was very successful. Did huge numbers, and the creative director of Adult Swim, Mike Lazo, he told us, "You guys are the next Tim and Eric. We're going to do 100 episodes." And I was like, "Oh, that's cool." And then we did a sketch called Jews Rock.
I saw that. I thought it was funny. How can you think that was anti-Semitic?
Well.
There was then a flood of accusations that the trio were secret Nazis and white supremacists, as well as insistence that the show was filled with alt-right dog whistles. They got a ton of negative press following this, obviously, but Sam handled it expectedly.
I am indeed.
Very good.
So, Sam, let me ask you a couple questions if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Do you consider yourself a member of the alt-right?
Of Adult Night?
Of the alt-right.
What is the alt-right? Is that some sort of indie bookstore?
One of the main catalysts of his show's cancellation was a man named Tim Heidecker. Sam was actually a big fan of his from his work on the Adult Swim show Tim and Eric. But after seeing the sketch, Tim took issue and he made some calls. And he pulled some strings with the weight of his influence at the network and demanded the show be canceled. Sam even called into Tim's show to confront him on this, but Tim denied involvement.
No, you do have that kind of power because you're making.
Well, half of your audience tells me that I'm irrelevant and that I'm finished and I'm worthless. And then that in the next breath they tell me that I'm pulling strings and running the show, that I'm Mr. Hollywood. Right? So it can't be both.
Hey,
it can't be both,
Mr.
buddy.
Hollywood. Mr. Hollywood, half of my audience tells me I'm irrelevant and whatever you
so
just
you
said.
know, don't believe. So you don't believe it. So I'm trying to tell you the honest. All I do is tell you the truth. All I do is tell the truth. I am not making any decisions on what shows get picked up or what shows get canceled at Adult Swim.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Wait, how many shows do you make for Adult Swim? How many shows are you making for them yourself personally and through Absolutely? What is it? 10? What are you making? 15 shows right now?
I think
holy shit.
I think we have made 4.
Okay, so you are a big deal at that network. You're not an irrelevant non-player. The
I
stuff
agree.
That you say
I agree.
People listen to you.
I agree.
So with this early cancellation, Sam was pushed even further into the underground. His YouTube channel was ultimately banned in 2018, as was his Twitter account, MDE subreddit, and all the rest. Joe Rogan wouldn't even have him on the podcast, despite being a friend to many who are massive fans, and also being aware of both him and his influence.
That's like a TV show they made.
Oh, cool. Sam Hyde stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, what
Sam Hyde
madness is
thing
this?
where he sits down just with the chair and is like breaking down things that are going on in the world?
Oh, no, I don't know that.
You ever seen that video?
These old moms?
It went fucking viral. You've seen it, right?
Yeah, I'm friends with him. He's doing his
video.
He's doing his premiere for $1 Million Extreme 2 in Austin on Sunday.
What does that mean?
Really? It's
They
his
had,
old show.
they had a sketch show called $1 Million Extreme.
It's fun.
And it got canceled off Adult Swim.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And now they made it again. And I was
He's
supposed
a
to
little
go,
too
and
wild.
He's a wild
He's
fucking
wild.
boy.
He's a little wild.
But you ever see Moms or Mothers? What is
Yes.
it? That's a brilliant one.
What is
He
it?
writes a script,
Oh, man.
realizes he can get some just local, I'll try to be an actress, to read the lines. So they're like, oh, well, let's write crazy lines. And they're reading these lines not knowing what it is. And he goes, it's something like, yes, I am the curly-haired one. I think we should try to fuck the curly-haired one. It's
crazy.
It's just like, and they're just like trying not to laugh so
but
hard.
him and Nick Rochefort's one of the funniest dudes I've ever met. Charles, those guys.
They're doing some wild stuff.
With the strange cult following behind him, people soon started leaking to the press that anytime a shooting happened, the person responsible was a man named Sam Hyde.
I was told that they released the name of Sam Hyde, who caused this event, and
this phenomenon started to happen for nearly every ambiguous tragedy, with people just augmenting his name to fit the context, and the hoax eventually made its way to the top.
So that was, of course, debunked. And then the truly scary thing, and I use scary as actually should instill some fear in you, is that there's an internet comedian named Sam Hyde. And whenever there was a mass shooting, people would post his picture and say, Sam Hyde has done it again. And it would spread like wildfire because everybody wants to be first. Nobody wants to be right. People would say the shooter's been identified as Sam Hyde, and they'd show him a picture of a gun. Multiple media outlets fell over the past few years, but then around 2018, people got smart to it, and you kind of knew, like, okay, this is Sam Hyde. Here's what he looked like. So Adam Kissinger says the ghost of Kiev has finally been identified, and his name was like Samuel, the Ukrainian version of Samuel, and it's a picture of Sam Hyde in a jet. And I'm thinking, you're in Congress, you're in charge. I'm terrified.
After the years-long muzzling, Sam was finally allowed back onto X with Elon's purchase of Twitter. And as the tears in the right-wing coalition began in late 2024, especially around Elon Musk's endorsement of additional H-1B visas, Sam dropped an absolute masterclass critique on X, calling out the co-opt. The post lit the entire site up.
And again, we're back to the idea of people as a collection of economic units. That's what at the foundation of Marxism, that reality is just math. And thus the justification for a lot of Marxism is also what leads Silicon Valley libertarian type people to attempt to quantify the unquantifiable. Mount Rushmore, the space program, the interstate system, motion pictures, electricity, these are all things that are not quantifiable. So they're quantifiable in the sense that you can look back and you can say that they cost X amount of dollars, or that a certain amount of concrete and steel was used in their construction. But these dream projects are unquantifiable things. There's no slider in the program where you can crank up the number of Indians to 200 million and bring the American dream to fruition faster.
Following years of effort to get the funding for it, Sam managed to put together the sequel to his original show on Adult Swim, and thus, $1 Million Extreme Peace was launched on Sam's private subscription model website in June of 2025. This was the full circle conclusion of his decade-long redemption arc.
Yo, that food coming ain't seasoned right, I might have to go back in that kitchen and bust a few chefs' heads together, you know what I'm saying? Knock a nigga out. Where's my shit spicy, nigga?
What Sam has managed to do from his budding fame all the way up to his actual notoriety is remain both authentic and consistent. People can feel this. It can't be faked with any real success for an extended period of time. And Sam has been consistent not just in his worldview, but also in his actions and demeanor. He created a whole entire alter ego persona for his boxing match in the 2-fight 1-night event.
You got anyone you want to call out in the heavyweight division?
Oh, you know it, lad. You know that Hassan Piker? I'm coming to kill you in Los Angeles at your house.
But immediately following the fight, instead of portraying himself with any arrogance, we got a very humble, real, and genuinely cool response.
Well, all right.
Straight out of the 80s. I've seen you in the movie. Was it Breaking?
No, Breaking.
Radio Raheem.
Breaking. I'm breaking jaws here.
Oh!
To Arena. Listen, man, that was a more difficult match maybe than you had anticipated.
I had no fucking idea what a real fight was like, to be honest with you, sir. I thought it would be all rainbows and candy canes and corn. But it fucking was crazy.
What was the toughest part of the night?
Just some stamina. Just keeping my, not blowing through my stamina, which I did. You saw. I was breathing heavy. I was out there looking like my mom. So.
Well, talk to me about what you did in build up for this fight to keep your stamina good.
I smoked Nat Shermans, which are a higher quality cigarette. They're more expensive, but I was able to survive some of my lung power with that. And
Are you ready to fight again? When are we going to see you in the ring?
no, fuck that. Fuck you. I'm out of here. I'm out of here, Raheem.
Radio Raheem with Sam Hyde, who is out of here.
Never again.
He's going to retire undefeated.
That's right.
Well done, sir.
Yeah, thank you, brother.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, man.
And Sam's authenticity has fueled his ability to maintain the audience, which has funded his entire operation. And this isn't done by his fans simply for a few random comedy clips. He gives great insight and advice, and it's clear he cares. He hasn't sold out or let the fame and money change him.
In your 20s, note the difference between toil as in slavery, cotton picking, if you will, and things from which you can pull experience and take value from. So I had a job doing sports marketing, which very much sucked ass, but I was able to. I got my work speed and also the file handling process from that job, which are the, what were you laughing at?
Just laughing at the shot.
Oh yeah. I got
so
my speed and my file handling procedure from that place. I got to see how a corporate 9-to-5 medium-sized business handles their shit. So I was picking stuff up. So if the job that you have is like working at a sporting goods store and it's providing just absolutely nothing for you and it's just straight toil that makes you want to kill yourself, then you should not do it. However, in your 20s, if you can find an older rich guy who's not gay, not trying to put his hands down your pants, but knows what he's doing and will impart some of his knowledge to you, we call that a mentor. If you can find a job where you can pick up information, learn how to do certain things, these are all good things. When there's a fork in the road, take it. Quippy little funny little piece of little riddle there, huh? That means if you have a choice between doing two different things, just do one of them and keep moving forward, because a lot of success is things that you can't really target for. It's like being likable, meeting people who are going to help you out later, being present, not getting addicted to drugs, all these types of things. So just keep moving forward. Don't stress the small stuff too much, but avoid toil.
There are degrees of virtue. A singular act can be virtuous, independent of the integrity of the acting agent. A collection of virtuous acts can all be done in pursuit of a noble goal, but the consistent application of virtue, independent of external circumstance, is the highest degree of virtue expression. And Sam has held true to this, and that behavior pattern soon becomes worth far more than the sum of its individual parts. He's shown himself to be a genuinely good guy on and off camera. As someone who's briefly met him, I can confirm this too.
We will continue to do our best to bring joy and light and happiness to people. I have, over the years, I've wanted to quit several times just because, I made more money as a car salesman. All right, like. It's not financially rewarding work. Even with the Adult Swim gig, it's definitely not financially rewarding. And as far as personally goes, it's not the most gratifying lifestyle. But I get messages from people who say they have like multiple sclerosis and shit. Say. This kid with like a tumor. There's some kind of there's a fucking I forgot what it's called, but it's a tumor that you get in your brain and it grows eyeballs and teeth. And man, fuck.
Here's also an example of his remarkable generosity.
You stated that in the past you've donated hundreds of thousands of dollars to the black community.
Mm-hmm.
What gave you such a strong connection to them?
Scholarships.
For you or for them?
I gave a $45,000 donation to a black man who tried to rob me so that he could go to Yale University.
But why would you give him money?
And build planes, because I believed in him. and because I believed in this nation.
But why didn't you... Who's clapping?
And though he's led from the shadows, his influence on those that will eventually become the notable figures of our day is drastic.
I'm so happy, dude. I'm so happy you're on. You have no
Well,
idea. I told you, I've been a fan since fucking my friend Burke did that fucking episode with you guys.
Oh yeah, old Burke.
Like,
we got to start off with our friend Sam Hyde. And I have sort of a mixed reaction to it because on the one hand, that was my favorite account, hands down, on Twitter. It was the $1 Million Stream account. That was the only one I was checking regularly.
So even though Sam may not be known by most of the people at a Matt Rife show, and he might never be a guest on Jimmy Kimmel, that doesn't actually mean a whole lot in terms of his value. Because even if his influence isn't with the masses, it's with the people who create the culture. And Sam is revered by those who have been crafting our culture, even if not by the critics.
I kind of almost think that bands like the Beatles, who were so extremely, massively, album-wise large in terms of what they sold and the influence they had, contemporary interest at the time, that very little of their influence is actually felt now. That it was the fringe, strange bands that nobody ever bought, like the Velvet Underground, that actually have created modern music. In fact, critics have very little, they don't imply what's going to happen in art. They can only interface and interrelate with what is actually happening now and maybe revisit the past and give some kind of spin on what happened in the past. Tomorrow's culture is always dictated by the artists. So however many critics were saying how important the Beatles were, there were artists running around saying, yeah, they're okay, but have you heard the Velvet Underground? And that, the artists make culture, not the critics. I don't know why I got there, didn't I?